Hello there. What is up, you guys? It's Violet here, and welcome back to Let's Catch a Vibe. Now, I hope everyone's feeling great, feeling amazing, feeling vibey. As you guys can tell by the title of the video, this is going to be my spoiler video of the 2022 Ambulance, which came out Friday. I did a spoiler-free review, and I thought I'll wait over the weekend and I'll actually do a spoiler review when it's been over the weekend, so enough people have had a time to see. Anyway, starting off, this film was really good. Like I said in my spoiler-free review, it is like a generic heist film, but added little elements in there. So pretty much, we start off with the opening of the film, pretty much with Abdul-Mateen's character, pretty much calling the army, trying to see if he can get like, pretty much see if the army can sort out his wife's, or give him some money for his wife's surgery. Now, the reason why they won't give him the money or the insurance, insurance doesn't cover it because it's an experimental surgery, and I don't know why, but you know, in the filing and stuff like that, they don't give money out or pay out insurance to what do you call it? Actually, like, you know, experimental things. They're a bit funny about that stuff like that, because something happens, you could pretty much say, okay, well, you fronted up, you know, you could basically accuse of them if it goes wrong. So they don't want anybody to blame. Anyway, enough of me stumbling over the words. So yeah, pretty much we end up getting Abdul-Mateen going to Jake Gyllenhaal's character, which is his adoptive brother in this film. It is actually his brother, because if you've been adopted, you are technically somebody's actual brother, just not blood. But anyway, he ends up going to him. They pretty much end up, you know, Jake Gyllenhaal's, pretty much we find out the family history, that his father was big into robbing banks, and Jake Gyllenhaal's been going through it since he was younger, so he's been robbing banks, and obviously the police do have a file on him. But yeah, pretty much they end up, Abdul-Mateen's against it at first, but he ends up going along with it, because obviously, where else are you going to get like 32,000, is it, no? Is it 320,000 or something like that? Anyway, he needs a large chunk of money. So anyway, they end up setting this up. Now, this is one of the plot points that I was a bit like, okay. Now, this is pretty much the guys that robbed the bank with him. There's no cause, like, no one's like, oh shit, so-and-so got hurt, so-and-so's got hurt. It's just like, obviously these guys were probably hired for a reason. But there's no, oh shit, we need him, or oh shit, we need him. Like, nobody cares. It's literally just Jake Gyllenhaal cares about his brother, and that's it. It's like, you know, pretty much that's how they like to keep a close-knit team, because if you start getting friendly with people, you get too sentimentally attached, and then things start going here and there, and then in the moment, your head starts getting fuzzy and all emotional. So a lot of these heist films, they usually like to just hire outside people like mercenaries and stuff like that. They just hire them just because they can do the job. You're the driver, you don't say anything, you get your cut, end of story. Anyway, pretty much the bank job goes to shit. At first, it was cool. At first, I was thinking, oh shit, these guys are actually going to get out of here. They're probably going to get chased when they leave. From what I remember, nobody gets killed except for obviously the people that robbed the bank. We pretty much find out there was police sitting outside waiting, because one of the plots in the movie, one of the kids, there's a kid that's fresh out the academy, I don't know, by several months, but he's got a black partner. It's a white guy, black partner, and he's mulling over whether he should have asked this girl that's a bank teller, yeah? So his black partner texts him to the bank and says, yo, you're going to go and ask her out now, because, you know, the typical life doesn't wait. You know, we've all heard it before. So anyway, they go back to the bank. Police, the white officer ends up going in and ends up going to speak to the cashier. Jake Gyllenhaal opens up the bank. Obviously, by this time, all the cashiers and everything are on the ground, you know, and they're all behind the paying desk or the cashier's desk. Again, long story short, everything goes awry, everything goes to shit, but the white cop gets shot by Abdul-Mateen. Now, the reason for that happening is because he tries to wrestle the gun off Jake Gyllenhaal. Abdul-Mateen didn't realise and didn't mean to shoot him. So then, obviously, there's a cop been down. So, obviously, if you know anything about cops, I don't necessarily know in Britain, but in America, they go bullshit to the wall for that stuff. You might hate your fellow officer, but if he gets shot, he becomes like your best friend that you've known for years, which I never understood. I think it's because, obviously, if one doesn't, you know, you don't want to be the guy that's like, I don't care, because obviously they're all going to gang up on you if people that do know him, you know what I mean, they're all going to gang up on you. So yeah, anyway, the plan goes to shit. There is Eliza González, her character. She's an interesting character because we see her attend a car crash where a little girl's been pierced with like an iron fence. It's gone straight through the back of the car. But she might seem a bit cold, but she's not emotionally attached to her job, being an ambulance driver. And she tries to explain this to her co-ambulance worker, because pretty much she says, you know, you don't really want to get wrapped up in it because you don't want to emotionally take it home. Because a lot of people, when they're in those jobs, sometimes they take the what they call emotional baggage home with you. And you don't really want to be at home with your own family or whatever, and you're thinking about somebody that got hurt earlier. It can be a lot for your mind. Some people's mind can't take it. So we end up finding her going to the scene of a crime. She's going out for burritos or something with her after the car crashing. She goes out for burritos with one of her colleagues. Just says to him, you don't really want to get swept up in it, and he's trying to find out little bits about her, and she's not really giving off much. Then we flash forward to obviously the bank's been robbed. They get called. They go there. They follow the underground tunnel to get in, which Jake Gyllenhaal used to get into the bank in first. And then, yeah, pretty much they go to pick up the cop. Jake Gyllenhaal, Abdul-Manteen steal the ambulance with her inside. Obviously, the cop's inside now as well. Pretty much fast forward, the FBI and everything gets involved. And obviously, during this time, they're already in the car chase with, obviously, the plot of the film, it being an ambulance. Now, moving on to the second point, we do get the black officer that does take one of the investigating officers. I think he's driving down the road with his dog and something. So he steals his car with his dog in, which he finds out about later. Then we get to the point where, obviously, we're having a bit of back and forth and conflict, Jake Gyllenhaal does set up a way for him to get out of this chase. But it is quite a long chase. I'm not going to lie to you. It is quite a long chase. And obviously, this is where Michael Bay comes into his own with the explosions, car crashes and stuff like that. I will say, though, Abdul-Manteen, him being in the army and being a Marine, really good driving. Really, really good driving. And they mentioned that several times in the film. Like, damn, this guy could drive. Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, pretty much, obviously back and forth, the usual negotiating between the police and Jake Gyllenhaal, him telling them that we don't stop and stuff like this. Yeah, pretty much a cartel member, I believe, that worked for Jake Gyllenhaal's father, or knew his father for a long time. He ends up organising with him, like, you've got to distract us, basically, like, we're going to pull in. Jake Gyllenhaal gets somebody from his spray shop, because he looks after, like, antique cars and stuff like that. I think there was a car that was in a car crash or something like that, and it had like a window screen that was broken, but he kept it because it'll sell more for value, because it was like, a crime scene car. You know what people are like. People buy stuff for those kind of like, reasons. Oh shit, like, was this the car that Bonnie and Clyde got shot in? I want to buy it. You know what I mean? People have that kind of sentimental value stuff. But anyway, he gets his sprayer to meet him. They spray the ambulance like neon green, because he was supposed to bring blue. He told him to bring blue, and he brought neon green. So that was quite funny in there. But yeah, really, really good, solid acting overall. We do get to a point where Abdul-Manteen, he's struggling with it, and he's kind of trying to, like, he's like, save that cop. So obviously all the way through this whole car chase scene, I hope I'm not butchering the name, Eliza González is pretty much trying to save this cop, because obviously if this cop does die, it's serious, you know what I mean? You are going to die. Like, these people are going to make sure you're locked away. Obviously, if they can save the cop, might just be a bank robbery. You might get less time, maybe. I don't know. Just depending on, because obviously the main thing about that is, as long as no one was hurt, then you're okay. You might just get slapped on the wrist, or it might just be this, you know what I mean? Obviously, I don't know how the law works. They mess with laws all the time. But yeah, really, really, we get this distraction. Jake Gyllenhaal says, listen, I know you got some debts. I got some money here. You can square us or get us a distraction to this cartel member. He says, you know what? I'll sort you out. End up finding out that the cartel member's like, listen, you've got a paramedic in there. You've got the police officer in there. Give us the police officer, because what you end up finding out is that one of the cartel members, his son got killed during the ambush. Now, what happened was the black police officer ends up chasing him, and then they get into a bit of a scuffle, and he shoots him in the head. And obviously, everyone's tapping him on his back that he's done a good job and everything. And the cartel member sees this, so he's like, right, I want that police officer's life in exchange for I want him in exchange for my son getting killed. So yeah, long story goes through that. Again, I don't want to give you the whole plot to the film. I just want to give you the main synopsis. But yeah, one of the scenes in there, I was a bit like, okay, didn't need to be in there. It's the FBI officer that knows Jake Gyllenhaal, like he went to college with him. Now, I don't want everyone to be like, oh, you know, I don't care about all that. Right. There was the scene where they were in the they were getting like not psychiatric help, therapy. They were getting therapy. I didn't really feel like that added anything to the film. We don't see his partner again, so we didn't really care about that. I felt that was a scene that was just put in there to say, right, you know, to encourage more of like, you know, acceptance of gays and stuff like that. I didn't really feel like it needed to be there, if I'm honest. Didn't need to be there. I mean, would we have cared about the FBI character more if we'd have known that? No. Did we care about him a little bit? Yeah, because he kind of knew Jake Gyllenhaal, but that was it. He wasn't like a major actor or a major character. Not that I knew of, anyway. But yeah, pretty much come to the end of the film. We find out that, you know, Jake Gyllenhaal gets shot. As Eliza González gives some money from the bank robbery to Abdul-Manteen's wife. I don't think from what I remember, he doesn't make it out. He does. He does make it out. And he's in the hospital recovering, and obviously a lot of people are like, you know, praising him, like, you know, because they even interview the police officer, and he says, you know, what about this guy? And he says, you know, that guy saved my life. Even though he shot him, he tried to save his life, you know what I mean? Like, he was telling her to save his life, you know, he was concerned. Because obviously Abdul-Manteen's character wasn't a bad guy, you know what I mean? He wasn't like an evil guy. He was a soldier, so he was trained to help people. But yeah, really, really good, solid film. I thought the acting was really good, action scenes. There wasn't the typical Michael Bay explosions, which you would think. So I think he's toned down a bit over the years on the explosions. I never mind him anyway. I thought the Transformers films were really cool. But anyway, yeah, really, really good, solid movie. Like I said, I rated it an 8. Big, solid 8. I would even go as 8.5 if you really love the characters. Like, I love Abdul-Manteen when he was in Candyman last year. Really, really loved him. Again, sorry for butchering the name. Eliza González, she was really good. Jake Gyllenhaal, we've already seen his repertoire already. But yeah, really, really solid film. So yeah, sorry, I've been talking for about 12 minutes. But anyway, guys, I would definitely recommend to go and see this film. It's only been out since Friday, so it's only just been out, what, 3 days now? So yeah, I would definitely recommend going to see this film. If you guys did like this video, don't forget to smash the like button. If you did like the video, let me know in the comments down below why you did like the movie. Also, let me know what was your favourite scene from the movie. Also, let me know which actors you liked in there. But anyway, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new and join Team Let's Catch a Vibe. Also, if you guys did enjoy this video, please don't forget to switch on the bell notifications to get notified as soon as I upload. But more importantly, don't forget to stay vibey, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace. Cheers.